For weeks, Hollywood's been buzzing with one headline louder than the rest. Justin Baldoni's massive $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds has officially been dismissed. It's the kind of story that doesn't just grab attention, it shakes the walls of the entire celebrity world. Because when you're talking about that much money, those big names, and that much drama, nothing stays quiet for long. But behind the headlines lies a tangled story of trust, betrayal, ego, and the brutal politics of fame. So what really happened here? How did one of Hollywood's most loved couples end up locked in a legal feud with the actor-turned-director of their own movie? And why are insiders saying this case could change how stars work with their closest collaborators forever? Let's start from the beginning. Justin Baldoni, best known for his role in Jane the Virgin and his growing reputation as a thoughtful filmmaker, seemed like the perfect choice to direct It Ends With Us, the high-profile adaptation of Colleen Hoover's viral novel. Blake Lively was cast as the lead, and her husband Ryan Reynolds reportedly supported the project from behind the scenes. At first, it was a dream team, three names adored by fans, bringing one of the internet's favorite love stories to life. But as production went on, whispers started to spread that not everything was as perfect as it looked. Sources close to the set described tension building between Baldoni and Lively almost from the start. There were creative disagreements. Some said Blake wanted more control over her character's portrayal, while others claimed Baldoni was overly protective of his artistic vision. It wasn't a shouting match kind of fight. It was something quieter, but far more dangerous. Two powerful personalities slowly losing trust in each other. And when that happens in Hollywood, it's only a matter of time before things spill into the public eye. What started as creative tension soon became legal chaos. Months after filming wrapped, reports emerged that Baldoni had filed a countersuit worth an eye-watering $400 million. The claim alleged reputational damage, breach of trust, and interference with his professional relationships. It sounded outrageous. How could one project spiral into a lawsuit that could bankrupt studios and ruin careers? But Hollywood is built on ego as much as art, and once that balance breaks, even the most loyal partnerships can turn deadly. Now here's where things take a darker turn. The countersuit didn't just name Blake Lively, it allegedly involved Ryan Reynolds too, suggesting he played a behind-the-scenes role in limiting Baldoni's creative control and influencing the film's narrative decisions. To the public, Ryan's name alone made the story explode. Everyone knows him as the sarcastic, charming good guy. But in legal filings, he was painted as part of a calculated Hollywood power play. And that's when fans started to take sides. Social media became a battlefield. Some defended Baldoni, claiming he was a victim of celebrity dominance, that Lively and Reynolds used their influence to push him out of his own project. Others saw it the other way around, calling the lawsuit nothing more than a desperate move to grab attention after production tensions went public. Whichever side you looked at, one thing was certain: this wasn't about one movie anymore. It was about reputation, power, and pride. For months, the legal war simmered quietly behind closed doors. Both camps avoided public statements, but insiders hinted that negotiations were intense. At one point, rumors claimed that studio executives were panicking, worried that the scandal would overshadow the film's release. Meanwhile, legal experts were baffled by the size of the claim. $400 million? That's not just a lawsuit, that's an earthquake. Even in Hollywood, where egos come with dollar signs, that number was almost unheard of. But as often happens in this industry, things started to unravel from the inside. According to insiders familiar with the case, Baldoni's countersuit began losing ground as the court demanded more substantial evidence to back his claims. Some of the alleged communications and contracts didn't align with the legal narrative. Behind the scenes, lawyers started whispering that the entire case was becoming unsustainable. Eventually, the hammer came down. The court dismissed the countersuit entirely. Just like that, a $400 million war vanished into thin air. Yet even though the case was dismissed, the fallout didn't stop there. In Hollywood, the court of public opinion can be far harsher than any judge. And now, people are asking questions about what this whole battle really says about the way the industry operates. Because let's be real, when actors, producers, and directors collide, it's rarely about one issue. It's about control. For Justin Baldoni, the dismissal is a massive blow. He entered the project hoping to solidify his place as a serious filmmaker. Instead, he became part of one of the most chaotic behind-the-scenes dramas of the year. Insiders say he's furious about how the media twisted his intentions, claiming he wasn't chasing money but respect. But in Hollywood, perception is everything, and once you're labeled as difficult or litigious, it sticks. For Baldoni, that reputation could follow him for years. As for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the dismissal was a quiet victory, but not one without scars. They've worked hard to maintain their image as Hollywood's power couple, witty, charming, grounded, and scandal-free. This lawsuit challenged that image, forcing them into a public narrative they never wanted to be part of. Even though they technically won, the whispers of the feud still linger. Some insiders claim Blake feels betrayed that something meant to elevate her career turned into a headline circus. Others say she's relieved, ready to move on and focus on family and future projects. But this story goes deeper than one legal battle. It exposes how fragile trust really is in Hollywood. Collaboration often begins with friendship and shared passion, but the moment success enters the equation, everything changes. Ego mixes with money, and soon, it's not about art, it's about control. And in a business where perception is more valuable than truth, one bad headline can undo years of goodwill. So what does this mean for the future of everyone involved? For Baldoni, there's talk that he's stepping away from high-profile collaborations for now. He's been seen focusing on his personal projects, community work, and independent productions. Some say he's regrouping. Others say he's been quietly blacklisted by the bigger studios. Hollywood has a short memory for victories, but a long one for controversy. Blake Lively, on the other hand, seems to be moving forward with grace. She's reportedly shifting attention toward new business ventures, brand partnerships, and more carefully chosen acting roles. Those close to her say the ordeal taught her one lesson: control your image before someone else does. Ryan Reynolds has remained mostly silent, continuing to juggle his film projects and business empire, pretending like none of this drama ever touched him. But behind the polished humor, even he must realize how close this came to staining their spotless brand. The real takeaway? The lawsuit might be over, but the story is far from done. Industry insiders say it exposed a growing rift in modern Hollywood, the clash between traditional directors and actor-producers who now wield more power than ever. In the old days, directors had the final say. Today, stars like Blake and Ryan have production companies, creative control, and massive online platforms. That means they don't just act in a movie, they shape it. For someone like Baldoni, that shift changes everything. The fight for creative authority isn't just personal, it's cultural. And that's why this case matters. Because it's not just about who won or lost, it's about what comes next. When a $400 million claim collapses overnight, it sends a message to the rest of Hollywood. Choose your allies carefully, and never underestimate how quickly friendship can turn into litigation. Still, one question remains unanswered. Why did Baldoni risk it all in the first place? Some believe he genuinely felt undermined and wanted justice. Others think it was a gamble to regain control of the narrative, to remind people that he wasn't the villain. Whatever the truth is, that decision will define him for years to come. And for Blake and Ryan? They may be celebrating privately, but they also know Hollywood forgiveness comes with conditions. Every interview, every project, every public appearance from now on will carry a shadow of this feud. The world may move on, but the internet never forgets. If there's one thing this entire saga proves, it's that fame and power come with a price, and in Hollywood, that price is trust. Once it's broken, you can't buy it back, no matter how many millions are on the line. So as the dust settles and the countersuit fades into history, maybe this story isn't about money at all. Maybe it's about how quickly admiration can turn into accusation, how collaboration can morph into conflict, and how even the most glamorous stars can get caught in battles that strip away the shine. Hollywood may look like a dream from the outside, but behind the lights and red carpets, it's a place where alliances shift overnight and loyalty lasts only as long as the next contract. The $400 million countersuit is gone, but its message will echo in every future deal that gets signed, every handshake that happens on set, and every whisper that travels down Sunset Boulevard. Because if there's one thing everyone in Hollywood knows by now, it's this: sometimes the real drama doesn't happen on camera. And this time, it just cost someone 400 million reasons to never make that mistake again.